I'll put my glasses on. It is 9:30 on November 12th. We are opening the Board of Health meeting. Can I have a roll call, please?
Gavin Byers.
James Bookweir.
And Chris Nosoa. Additions or deletions in 48 hours. I think we have a legal review.
Yes, an update on
An update.
how our legal reviews are going.
Okay,
Do you want to go over that right now?
might as well. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim. You said you had
I'd like
something.
to make a request of the chair and the board upon everybody's agreement that for this meeting with social distancing, we can remove our masks.
I'm not sure how that works since we, I mean, we have a rule that we put in
We
place.
did, and I think the numbers have changed a little bit, so I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, that's something we could go over under the COVID, that maybe we could
Yeah, but that's
loosen
the
that
end of the
restriction,
meeting.
but, what's that?
That's the end of the meeting. I wanted to have the masks off so that everybody could see us.
Well, COVID update is not at the end of the meeting. COVID update is 1.3, so we could actually, we could do that after the legal review. Well, actually, why don't we push the legal review out
Why
and
don't
go
you
to
push the
COVID
legal? Why
update?
don't you just go to COVID and take care
COVID
of this right
update,
now?
and we can discuss, you know, because we're down to 24 and dropping,
Mhm.
that maybe we can drop the restrictions of
That's another thought I have.
the town hall. So, all right, so let's go to COVID update. Carla, you have Jim's, yeah,
I have your numbers right here in
Yep.
front of you,
okay.
okay? And
I'm gonna
Chris is
kinda,
absolutely right.
yeah, I'm actually gonna read some of these because Rick would. Our Covent cases are 24 and dropping from what they used to be at 44, so that's really good. We are, you know, currently at 4.4%, where the Middlesex County is at 1.3 and the state is at 1.7. Vaccination rates haven't really changed much. They're still on the website, so I don't really feel the need to go over them again, because they really haven't changed, so. It would just be redundant to keep repeating the same thing.
Mhm.
Let's see, what else we have, as far as this goes, of course, that's about it. There's no independent collection of any local boards of health of anything here, so.
Well, I do have some information from Rick, if you'd like me to read it.
This thing,
Yes,
is that on COVID?
it is, 1.3 COVID update.
Oh, okay, I thought that was just one whole thing. Please, go ahead, Cal.
No, absolutely. So, COVID update, the state has not yet issued case counts, percent positivity for individuals, communities this week, and he believes it's due to the Veterans Holiday. So they're likely to be issued later this afternoon. He's attached the most recent COVID report based on the data released on 11/4, which is what you have here, which was what Chris just went through. The Neshoba Board of Health has a limited amount of pediatric COVID-19 vaccinations, 5 to 11 years, and it has worked with the school district to put together a clinic on the 16th of November from 3 to 6 at the Hawthorne Brook Middle School. Due to the limited supply, this will only be advertised through the school and pre-registration will be required. No walk-ins can be accepted. We have scheduled the mobile vaccine clinic for Thursday, the 9th of December, from 3 to 7 p.m. The vendor that the state identified is unable to hold a true mobile clinic and will require inside space for the clinic. This has created potential issue with the venue high school, so he's asked me to see if we can obtain an alternative venue that fits their needs. I'm talking to Stacy, who is out right now, to see if we can use the library and the senior center. So hopefully that will be there.
Okay.
And that's all we have for that, so you can actually
Excellent.
now talk about your.
Yes, now, go ahead, Jim. You have comments about masks.
Okay, with the numbers back down, I think that we should go forward and put it as personal. If you want to wear the mask, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. This also makes it more convenient for everything that happens within the confines of the town hall and for people that are associated with volunteers, etc.
Yep.
It is a bit of an inconvenience because the numbers are back down. It's just my suggestion to the
Yep.
board.
Gavin, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the percentage numbers and the math that they use, because if we have 24 people
Well, that's by population.
by population. So
Yeah.
24 people out of 9,500 people is
Yeah.
not 4.4%, right? So,
Yeah, I don't know where they get the 4% from, but.
because I wanted to propose a percentage
Yeah,
of population
Mm.
and see if we fell below that, to have the mask mandate removed.
yeah.
But I don't know how they get the numbers, so
Yeah.
I can't do that. at this point.
I can't see it either. I only usually go by the cases, knowing how many there are. And I'd like to go with the old, red,
Mhm.
which we're not in the red, we're more yellow, which is, closer to what we're at.
Yeah.
And with the numbers falling very rapidly, this cluster of cases might be just starting to dissipate. We don't at this time, because the report didn't come out yesterday, that where the cases are from. But I don't really have a problem with doing away with the mask right now because we are falling. I think everybody is being safe enough, not as much as they should be, obviously, or we would have no cases.
We'd
but-
never be perfect.
Yeah, but I think that number where it's falling might be worth, for now, dropping the masks mandate in town
Mhm.
and just leave it where it was, where if you're not vaccinated, you have to wear a mask.
I like that.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay? So can we get a motion on that?
So moved.
There you go. All right,
Okay, we have one, do we have a second?
A second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. If you remain 6 feet apart,
Yes.
we may take off our masks. So
Yes.
try and make sure, and that's
Yeah.
obviously
That's why I try to spread
personal
everybody out,
opinion.
that's why I turned this table, so
Personal
Kyle can be
opinion.
over there and,
Okay,
oh, thank God.
okay.
All right, I feel better about that. Let's go back to our agenda. So we're done with the COVID. We will have to let the Board of Selectmen know. Kyle, I know that Veronica is in, because I saw her come in the same time I did. So we can probably let her know. All right, so we have, what number is yours? Your house?
478.
Okay, good, you're first on the agenda then. Okay, so we have 1.4, 478 Main Street, proposed dog grooming business.
Okay, so would you like me to read Rick's report?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's long.
No, it's just, oh, that whole thing?
It's long.
Well,
Yeah, I just read it back at the house.
It's long.
Can we just skim it, maybe?
um,
I haven't read it, that's, I can,
It's the,
I think I could
Yeah.
read it in just a couple of minutes, because I think that Jim would probably want to hear it versus reading it.
You can take your mask off, Paul.
Okay. So, the owner and applicant has submitted a written proposal complete with water meter readings from her previous address in Lunenburg, whereas I understand she ran a similar business to the one she is proposing at her Townsend address. Title V states a home office or home retail business whose only employees reside inside the home, whereas no additional wastewater is generated other than a toilet and hand washing waste, is not to be considered a change in the type of establishment. It does not require the addition of flow for the purpose of designing the system. Based on the proposed use, it appears that there will be wastewater generated other than that associated with toilet and hand washing waste. Therefore, Rick believes that Title V requires that this additional wastewater be accounted for and applied towards the design capacity of the system. A new system consisting of a 1,500-gallon 2-compartment tank and a 15 by 40 leach field designed to accommodate 4 bedrooms was recently installed and received a certificate of compliance. So they do have a septic for a 4-bedroom. The assessors have a 4-bedroom. And Rick has several ways that he believes that this could be accomplished. The house could physically be converted to only having 3 bedrooms as defined by Title V, giving that extra 110 gallons a day that the proposed use is going to be incorporating. You would, and then, I'm just scanning right here. Okay, He doesn't believe that any of the flows listed within Title V would represent the proposed use facilities other than those regulated listed in 310 CMR through 5 and non-residential facilities with unique design features that result in a significant different design flow than those listed above may apply to the department to determine the design flow actual meter readings of established flows from existing or similar installations without the need for a variance. Prior to making a determination, the department will consult with the local approving authority. For state and federal facilities, the department may also establish design flows other than those listed using the actual meter readings of established flows from existing similar installations. Any design flow established by the department pursuant to 310 CMR shall be based on 200% of the average water meter readings in order to simulate maximum daily capacities on other methods determined to be appropriate by the department. Application is made through the Mass DEP through a BRPWP 70, and the flow must also be approved at the local level by you. The other way would be to evaluate the water meter readings and make a determination locally that the flow associated with the business is X gallons per day, and whether that fits within the 110 gallons a day that was made available through eliminating a bedroom in the home. And that was recently done for the property at 29 Main Street for the proposed vet clinic at the direction of the DEP. So what that is saying is that she could take out one bedroom and the flow would go down to 330. She has a septic for 440. The extra 110 from the facility would be accumulated that way. Okay, the liquid waste associated with the dog grooming use could be determined to be non-protrusible waste. Title V are designed to accept only non-protrusible waste. Therefore, this waste could not be discharged into the system and would need to be discharged into an industrial waste holding tank. So the other option is if she doesn't want to decrease the bedroom count, she could get an industrial holding tank. And lastly, the board could determine that the proposed residential and commercial use exceeds the design capacity and that a new system must be installed or the existing expanded to accommodate the proposed use. So you have three options. And if approved, you may want to condition your approval to limit the grooming number to X number of dogs per day, and also make scheduled records available to the Board of Health for review on progress. So you could say there's a limit on the dogs that you would like to see groomed per day, and also that you could like to see the water reports to make sure that the water usage is not going past that 110 gallons per day. Do you understand?
She has a well, doesn't she?
Yes.
She'd have to put a meter on it.
Oh, you don't have a well, right?
No, and I'm only using 3 bedrooms, I don't have to worry about that, it's a 3-bedroom house.
Right, but you have 4 bedrooms, so you would have to make sure that one of them, the opening was large enough so it wouldn't be looked at as a bedroom.
Well, technically, there's 3 bedrooms upstairs, there's a den downstairs that's open.
But the system is designed for 4, so
Right.
there's 4 bedrooms in the house. So there would have to be some constructing done to make sure that that the room does not meet the requirements of a bedroom, which usually is the people just open up the door, they get rid of the door and they open up the doorway a little more.
Open up the doorway a little more, there's 2 doors leading to the den downstairs, other than that, it's only 3 bedrooms upstairs.
But you have
So
a
there's one-
4-bedroom septic, so
Right, but
you would have to do some constructing and you would have to work with the building department to do that.
Right.
And that is one of the board's options. You could certainly go that route, or you could go the industrial holding tank. Or you could go with the new system for 5 bedrooms, but if she's saying that she's only using 3, then it sounds like it would probably be an easier option just to make sure that the 3 bedrooms are definitely 3 bedrooms.
Jim? What do you got?
I'm still thinking.
Is
Yeah.
there-
Did Rick do a site walk?
No, not yet, he said that there's a door in the room downstairs, you just need to take the door off. And I said,
Yeah.
okay. One door isn't on there, there's just 2 doors leading into that den downstairs. Other than that, we just use 3 bedrooms upstairs.
So when the town assesses what your house is, it doesn't matter like how you're using it, the determination is based on how the town views your house being
It was
used
purchased
as.
as a three-bedroom, it still is a three-bedroom.
Doesn't matter, it depends on the assessment.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And with your septic being designed for a four-bedroom, it actually helps you out, but it just means that the way that we look at it and the way that the town looks at it, you're in a four-bedroom house. That helps you, but it doesn't mean that, you know, that's kind of the way we look at it. So we have to take that stuff into account.
And seen more than once in town where people say, yeah, I'm not using it as a bedroom, and it turns into one. That's our concern,
Right.
you know, because you'll end up overusing your septic tank and I don't know, Jim, how would I put that so that it's bad?
It gets overused, you're gonna exceed your limit of what you got for 440 gallons a day.
So I showed you, and I have in those packets, if you wanna look at them, my sales reports from my business for 6
I don't
months.
know where, oh, this one.
And a calendar that shows you how many dogs I would do per day, and my history of water bills from my old house, and I never even went over like 250. That's with my running business. I only work part-time, just so I can be home with my kiddos. I like to have a very small shop. Some days I only do 1 to 3 dogs. So that is my actual sales reports and the history of how many dogs I do per day. I don't want a busy shop, it's at my house.
Yeah.
You know,
We
it's
have
small
this
potatoes. I did the busy
I've
grooming
never-
industry for a long time, and that's not what I'm about. I just do one client at a time.
Yep.
If I have dogs, it's only one every hour to 3 hours. It's small business. And that's my actual business running full-time for how much I choose to work with my water meter reading from the other house.
What type of soap are you using on the dogs?
Right here, so I'll show you.
You can bring them right up and set them on the table if you don't mind.
This is my shampoo I use with the ingredients. This is how much shampoo per water bottle that I use, which is, it's 32 to 1, which allows me to rinse the dogs very quickly, but works well. This is it diluted. And that's the product, the conditioner. Pretty much the same ingredient from the
Yes,
conditioner, so that's what I use. I've been using that product forever. It looks great.
The amount of dogs that she would be having each day.
Over the last few months, Jim.
Yeah, that's from January to July, my history.
This is funny, this is dog soap, right?
Yeah.
Keep out of reach of children and pets.
It's sad, they have to say that, right, on everything these days.
Keep out of reach. That's pretty funny.
Well, it's a concentrated product, so.
Yeah, I just wanted to see.
And that's how much needs to go into a bottle, so I'm able to rinse them quickly. It's not very soapy, it just cleans.
Well, how many dogs do you get out of that bottle once you mix it?
Oh gosh, it lasts me like a
Recent.
month or two. A lot.
Yeah, no, I'm just
There's
curious.
a large bottle, it only takes about a half a bottle to wash a small dog, and then a large bill, and then you can wash a big dog.
Okay.
It works really good.
What do you think of it?
So I'm not crazy about the math of like the amount of dogs. I wouldn't, I don't know.
Hmm?
I'm not, cause you know, I'm not the water flow expert. I like the overall idea, I'm just not crazy about the math, that's all.
How long does it take excuse me, how long does it take to bathe the dog?
If it's a small dog, just a few minutes. I mean, I just do a quick wash because, I mean, a quick wet down, because that's diluted shampoo, and I scrub them, and then maybe a minute to rinse a little dog. I'd say probably 3 minutes to rinse a big dog. The product works really good, it's not very soapy, so it's not, I'm not sitting there forever trying to get all the soap out. The shampoo does the job for you. So it didn't take me long to wash the dog. More of the scrubbing time, but that's not water flow. That's just me
Without
getting
these
there.
numbers, if you had a grooming day, how many dogs could you groom in a day?
The most, I only like to do 6, but I work Wednesdays and Fridays, I work around my husband's schedule, I have 2 little kids at home. So on a Wednesday and Friday, that's why I showed the calendar, on average I do maybe 4 to 6 dogs.
You
unless
got
it
8
was-
here in several spaces.
On a few spots, yeah, but sometimes they're little dogs. I have clients that come in with like maybe 2 or 3 little dogs, so some days are busier, but for the most part, I just do a few when my husband gets home from work.
What's your thought, Mr. Chairman?
I'm still thinking. To be honest with you,
Okay, this is a very difficult thing to enforce, because once this is
yes,
issued,
no, I know that.
it's a turnkey situation
Yeah.
and you go.
Right.
Looking at the flow that you have per day for the 440 and looking at the number of dogs she'd be doing,
Mhm.
the numbers would average out to be well under the 440 a day
Right.
for the actual longevity of the month.
Mhm.
If you look at my floor plan too, I just wanted to show, I understand that, the idea of me having a busy business there and several groomers. I don't want that. I
Yeah.
worked in that industry forever, I just like working for me.
Do you intend to do any
And-
grooming eventually someday?
Doing any what?
Grooming.
Well, that's what it
I wanna
is,
be able
yeah.
to groom at my
Are you
house.
cutting hair and whatnot and getting rid of the hair from the dogs?
I would like to, that's what this is about.
Where's the hair gonna go?
In the trash,
Where?
in the trash.
In the trash. How much is gonna go down the drain?
I'm gonna have a hair trap installed.
Hair trap installed, I like that.
Yes, no, there's good hair traps too, I already spoke with the plumber, I had one at my old house.
Actually, I think that this would change this would change the use completely and,
Changing
there
use would have to
well,
go to.
because
planning.
I believe a grease trap would have to be installed, not a hair trap. When we have any type of hair salons that come in,
Looks in the
they have
truck.
to have the
Yes.
industrial holding tank, which is one of the things that Rick is given as an option.
Yeah.
So maybe it might be a better idea just to go that route, so in the future, if you do add it, then you wouldn't have to.
I
Come
don't
back
want
to
to
the
add
board.
it though, if I was ever to have a busy shop, it would not be at my house, my kids live there, I don't want traffic in
Well-
and out, it's a very small business. I would go rent a larger space. If you look at the floor plan, it's 10 by 20, it's not even a very big space.
But you've got 8 dogs, you're saying
Well,
that
no, but I
you're
only do
doing
one
8
dog at a time, so if I have a customer that has 2 dogs, it's maybe the most I would
And
have
how-
is 2. I just do one client at a time. If a little dog takes an hour, a large dog could take 2 to 2.5 hours. So
So
one
that would
customer
be-
comes, they take the dog home, and then another client may show up.
So if you have 8 dogs and they take an hour to an hour and a half each dog, so you're gonna be working over 10 hours during the day?
No, so if
Sometimes
you
if they
read,
come together,
like in her
but-
email, the scheduling, she said, on a normal day, she would have 6 small dogs, 2 big dogs, right?
Okay,
Just to fit that into the time constraints of a day, so that would be a full day, 6 small dogs, 2 big dogs. Or, worst case, it would be 4 large dogs, they take about 2 hours a time, per dog to groom. So, you're looking at an 8-hour day, 4 big dogs, 6 small dogs,
okay,
2 big dogs.
okay.
Um,
So based on the water meter readings presented for the last address in the business use starting in June of 2008, Rick calculated the average use of 169 gallons per day prior to June 2008 and 204 gallons per day after, although this number may be a little higher because of the pool they filled at the previous address. This calculation would indicate the average use associated with the business of 35 gallons per day. This number would then be doubled as required by the CMR, which provides a design flow of 70 gallons per day for the dog grooming. So 70 and you've got 110, so it looks like the water would be in the limit. Is that
Why do you
in
have
agreement?
numbers on every day of the week?
Those are the amount of dogs that I groomed for that month based on my sales report that day.
So
Some
you're
days I
doing-
only do 1 or 2 dogs.
Yeah, but you do grooming essentially 5 days a week.
Yeah, I work on
Okay.
my husband's schedule. He gets home from work at 3 and I'll do like 2 small dogs, just to get a few dogs in.
Where was this place before, in your house
In
also?
Lunenburg, in the basement of my old ranch. Yeah, I had a business over there.
Were you on sewer or septic?
Septic, and I
Did you
usually
ever
pump my
permit over
septic
there?
every year just to make sure it's for hair and.
Okay.
Jim Dorothy didn't remember signing it,
A permit
Hmm.
but it was permitted.
was, yeah, okay.
One of the issues I have with this is the
Yeah.
fact that continual usage of this is going to put something into the septic system, and the day that she decides that she wants to convey, she might pass Title V,
Mm.
but it doesn't mean the next buyer's not gonna confront problems
Mm.
because of the hairs that are in there from the animals. So there's gotta be some way to stop that hair from going. Human hair is bad enough, but that does get in the system too.
Mm.
But that's just individuals doing on a daily basis, or whatever, they take a shower. And continually, putting hair and stuff down the drain, there's gotta be a definite restriction there, so that hair doesn't make the septic system.
That's the holding tank.
Yes.
Okay. So you're thinking, holding tank would be better?
Yeah, the holding tank is the best thing to do,
Yeah,
yes.
So that's ideal state.
Mm.
Yeah.
So let me try and figure this out. So if we tell her she needs to put a holding tank in, does she have to have the holding tank pumped?
It would have to be pumped in lump sums,
Okay. And how big a tank do you think that you'd need?
depending on the flow, and if she increases the flow, you're gonna go a little bit bigger than what she's applying for to make sure it's gonna cover the job.
Yeah.
We might have to pursue this a little further with Rick, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be cost prohibitive though.
Yeah. I'm a little hesitant to make a decision on this right now.
I think we need to do more research on it too.
I need to look into this a little more. I don't know enough about it. In fact, I'm not gonna lie to you, I know nothing about this. You have your numbers,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just need to look into it a little more before I'm willing to make a decision. I don't know if you're on a time restriction for this, but,
Well, it's my business and I need to pay
yes.
for my big new house.
I understand.
I have to go find a job somewhere, my clients are all going somewhere else.
Mhm.
I don't know.
So when, the email that you sent, you said that you didn't wanna have to wait for state approval in there, what?
It's gonna destroy my business, I gotta go find somewhere else to work, I gotta pay for my kids.
Well, what was the state approval for?
He said that I'd have to go to state if it wasn't approved here, which can take 3 months, the same thing that
Oh.
we're doing here, I guess, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know.
So I think for her, the best option is gonna be put some preventative measures in place with probably a hair trap and a grease trap if needed. And so I don't know
But
the
there's-
plumbing codes.
But see, the thing is once you get into hair, it's gonna change everything, and you really need to talk to Rick about that, because there's
can
no
call him and ask
salon.
him.
If
We
a salon
can't,
comes in,
he's on a memory making day today, we can't.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that.
If a
his
salon-
son's first hockey playoff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't want
salons
to
have to have grease traps or industrial holding, they have to have that,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's what,
actually in our bylaws.
Is that for the hair or is that for chemical use?
I'm not sure.
Here.
Because what?
Guys, hang
so
on
when
one
I-
second, I have my book in the car, I'm gonna run out and grab it so we can I can look at
So
it.
when I got permitted and talked to Rick, we had a conversation about hair salons and the permitting required because of the chemicals that they use and that they're pouring down the drain, not hair.
Okay.
So I would lean toward the side of putting in a hair trap for sure. But if a grease trap's not a requirement, I don't think it needs to be a requirement for her for this.
I think the grease
Because
trap in this situation is overkill.
I think so as well.
If I can say one thing too about the type of dogs I do, I specialize in poodles. They don't shed. I don't do a lot of shedding dogs. I do frou-frou, fancy Bichons and poodles and Shih Tzus, and that's my forte. If you go on my Facebook page, you'll see it's all poodles.
Yeah.
They don't shed. They come in, they go right in the bath, they're not shedding. that's,
You can have this one back.
I can show
Where do you see
you
the
in names
scratches?
what breeds I groom, and they're all,
Yeah, so we're gonna look at things from a worst case perspective, so when we're
Right.
talking about flow rates and numbers, we're gonna go right to the maximum amount
yeah,
that is possible when we're talking hair, we're saying, we're gonna play the numbers where you're gonna have 8 Saint Bernards in there 2 days a week.
yeah, not gonna
That,
happen.
but that's the way we have to.
Right.
We have to look at it. So the other thing that I wouldn't mind doing is putting a daily limit, or, a Monday through Friday, or, have some submitted hours.
There's no way to control that though. It's on paper and it goes, but
I know.
I've seen that happen too many times.
But at least
It's a reference point.
it's a reference point,
Mhm.
I mean, I could be at home pouring motor oil down my pipes, you know what I mean? And there's nothing to control that, but at least if there's business hours as part of the plan, and maybe a maximum number, Rick mentioned having a maximum number of,
The most she's got is 8 years.
And I think being able to, where there's public water and you can get the water reports, I think that's gonna be very helpful.
Yeah, we could basically we could actually require that she submits water bills
I think you could
monthly.
just Ask the water department to do that,
Well, I
she
don't-
doesn't have to.
They don't even do it monthly, right? They
Yeah.
do water bills monthly, I think that's,
You'd have to have somebody like Rick go in and just take a meter reading, go in 30 days later, take another meter reading, and that tells you what you've done.
I
That's,
think we should just let the town
well,
pull those records rather than give.
yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, the town isn't gonna do that, Right now, we don't even have a
No,
water
no, I
commissioner.
mean-
It's the water department's in
Every time I
shambles.
receive a bill, I'll come down and bring it, it's a copy for you, I have no problem with that, because I know I don't use a lot of water.
I think that we could talk to Rhonda and see if we can figure out something with that, but the water department is not up today.
Shut up.
So I can talk to the water department and see what type of things we can do to see if we can monitor it. I'm sure that there's gotta be a way where it's public water.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are there, right?
Right.
They 12 meetings.
I don't think that they would have a problem going out and doing, I think monthly might be a little much, but I think that quarterly, they could get over there.
When do they do it normally? I'm on a well.
I know, I don't know either. One,
Every
every 3
Quarterly,
months?
yeah.
Oh, well, then they,
If you
so
look
then
at
that's
my
about
last-
every 3
yeah.
months, so then we'll just ask the water department to make sure that we get a copy of the records.
Do we have a previous gallon usage for her property?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
From
3
Lunenburg.
years, I started the business in June of 2018, and I consistently do that same amount of dogs,
It's in
so
that
if you
big
look,
packet.
So, yeah.
you'll see the household use for 3 years prior to the business, and then in June of 2018, I
Now, what
started the
is her
business,
water
so that's.
usage?
So, and the
3 years
water
worth.
usage was 169 from 2018, okay? 169, and then in June, it went up to 204, but you filled a pool, so he
yeah,
said
my
that he
October
thought
bills are always more for
that
the
that would
summer.
be, so that's what it was. So between 169 and 204 was what she was using.
And you've been grooming there already
For
anyway,
3
right?
years, I had groomed at my old house, so 3 years of those bills shows before and after having the business. I opened in June of 2018. So that's my water bills for 3 years to show you that that's how much I use consistently with that amount of business. Because I already had a clientele when I started at my house.
Give the chairman a couple of minutes to.
Our
You
next
gotta,
meeting
you gotta
is the
recognize the fact that
22nd.
we're here for a reason, and that's
No,
to
no, I
assist
understand
people.
completely.
And even for your own personal use, if you did the grooming and your septic system failed, then because of the grooming and that causing the damage, you're into a big number for a replacement of that system.
Right.
And we're trying to eliminate that on you by making this right up front, so you don't have to go
Right.
into a potential failure.
I do remember seeing it, guys, I just can't remember where I saw it.
My old house, I pumped the tank every year, just
Yeah.
for hair, whatever, there was never any issues.
If we ask you to give us 2 more weeks to do some research on this and come back in 2 weeks, and then we can come up with a final determination for you, is that something you'd be willing to work with?
Yeah, I'm just at the point where I'm spending a lot of money having that space refinished, and I don't know if I should keep dumping money into it or not. I'm at $20,000 right now, having that shop finished off. So I don't know if I should keep going or not, and what to tell my customers.
I
Christmas
would,
is such a busy time of year.
I would tell you that chances are, and pretty good that this will pass, but we just don't have enough information for me to make a
Okay,
good
and I'm not
decision.
sure what else you guys need.
I think that they would really
from-
like to sit with Rick and
Yeah.
go over a couple of questions that they have that I can't answer for him. And I think it comes down to how the hair is going to be collected and hours and number of animals,
Mhm.
number of dogs. I think that's the 3 key things that the board is
Right.
looking at right now.
And I say, there's only 2 days a week that I would do a lot of dogs. The rest of the days are just, I only work for 2-3 hours. That's,
So 3 days a week for 2-3 hours.
and then 2 days a week, I'd work from like 9 to 5 or 6, depending on.
Mr. Chairman, can I make a motion to table this for 2 more weeks to get some more information and be able to give her a decision at that second meeting?
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I promise you that, you know, we will do our best. We just, we have a guy from the Neshoba Board of Health that helps us with this. He knows all the things that need to be done. You know, we are basically volunteers that do this. We're not, you know, we don't have all the answers, and that's why we have him. He was unavailable today, unfortunately. So I think, if we get a chance to talk with him, I think in 2 weeks, you should be okay. Okay, we may have to impose a couple restrictions, but I can't honestly say that we're gonna say no. I don't believe
I'm
it.
in favor of her
Yes,
going forward with the business
absolutely.
myself, I just wanna
Yeah.
see it done, so it's not
Yeah.
gonna put her in harm's way down the road. So this is a blessing in disguise to make sure we're gonna give you the
Yeah.
right stuff right away
Yeah.
when we get the answers.
That's pretty much what we're trying to do. We're not trying to defer you from a business. We want you to have this business, but we still have to have some questions answered by our professional, and, you know, I'm sorry we're making you hang on, but he was unfortunately not able to be here today, so, and our next meeting is in 2 weeks,
Okay.
okay?
Would you like your soap back, or can I use it on my puppy?
I think Gavin would need that whole bottle for his
Yeah.
dogs.
I don't know, when I go to his house, I don't get out of the car.
Oh, you don't? No, they're great dogs. I love those.
So we
Thank you.
the last time we had the puppy groom,
Yeah.
that day, he ran off and jumped in my pond.
Oh, no way.
I thought Julie was gonna shoot him.
Oh, no way. He's a big white furry one?
Yeah, it's like $150 to kill him.
Oh, my God. The poor puppy.
I wouldn't wanna feed him, let alone groom him.
Oh, my God. All 3 of those dogs? No,
All right,
definitely
we'll
not.
move the meeting.
All right, here we go. Let's move to, I'm assuming you are 22 Main Street.
Correct.
Okay. What do you got,
Okay.
Carla?
Rick spoke to the folks with the proposed dog daycare at this location and requests that they provide a written business plan to include how they plan to dispose of solid and
Okay.
liquid
Oh, thank
waste
you.
associated with the business. I have not yet seen that document, but it is my understanding that the building will only be used for the business and not residential. They also stated that the dogs would be outside as weather allowed, and they would not be offering any other services, grooming, boarding, etc. They plan to bag feces and clean up the urine with paper towels and a disinfectant. The bagged feces and paper towels will then be placed in the trash for disposal as solid waste. I expect liquid wastes to be discharged to the system to consist of a bathroom use, hand washing use, and mopping, cleaning as needed. The existing system serving the property consists of a 1,000-gallon septic tank and a 20 by 50 leaching field. The permit lists the design capacity as a 3-bedroom house. A Title V of the existing system would need to be completed, the last one was completed in 2013, to comply with transfer requirements and to comply with the change of use. And then we go into the change of use, and the design of the tank shall be in accordance with multiple tanks or series of tanks. We all know what the tank inspection is. So this is if the septic tank does not pass Title V. He would still like to review the written plan once available to be sure that everything was correctly understood as far as this portion, but assuming it is consistent, I feel confident that the existing system capacity will be adequate for the proposed use, but would suggest that you condition any approval with a limitation on the number of dogs and employees that they could have at any particular time. If you are looking for a flow number to use to determine this, CMR 31015 states flow for a daycare is 10 gallons per day per person, and I believe this would be a conservative estimate to use that same flow for each dog employee based on their description of how they plan to run the business. I also discussed that there are certain nuisances, noise, odors, etc., that could potentially result from the use, and they would need to be addressed, how to handle those issues. However, they are surrounded by other commercial properties and do not expect this to be a big issue. So it sounds like they have their business plan right here. Rick still wants to review it, and he's saying that you need a Title V.
And that just currently passed.
Yes, they
Which
just,
did pass.
It
yes.
was like 25 pages, so I didn't want to print out 25 pages,
Okay.
100 pages. But if you guys want me to email it to you,
That would
I
be
can email
terrific.
it right
Pass
now.
it to pass, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yes.
Rick's gonna have to approve it anyway.
Yes,
yes,
So,
yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be in his hands shortly.
Thank you.
Okay,
So, it sounds like he's saying that if it passes, he believes that the system would be adequate for this type of business. He does want to review the business plan.
Okay.
He would still like to review the plan, once it's available, to ensure that everything was correctly understood, but he feels confident that the existing capacity will be adequate. However, he also, and then he wants to make sure that you put in the hours and the amount. Where was
And just to bring it to your attention, he hasn't seen the letter that you guys are reading.
Yeah, that's the business plan that
Yeah.
he wants to review.
Right.
Exactly.
Would you have any discussion?
Gavin, what do you got there, young fella?
I'm still thinking.
Yeah, let me just read
Go
Rick's
ahead.
thing right here real quick, and, Jim, you have anything?
Not yet.
How about you, Hadley, you got anything?
Where's 22?
That's the yellow house between McDonald's and, Dunkin' Donuts, or the other
The
pizza
pizza
the
place.
pizza place,
The
yeah.
This actually owns the business.
There'll be no complaints from neighbors for barking dogs.
No.
No,
Nope.
No.
no. And once they get the rail trail go behind there, everybody will stop and go, ooh, puppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is the other daycare business still going on that's in the plaza?
yes.
They're more of a grooming, more than anything else. They don't, kind of communicated with Mary, the dog officer. And she's just communicated that most of her work is primarily grooming more than,
She does do
Overnight
dog,
daycare.
yeah, she does do dog
she does do
daycare
a few, but
boarding.
it's minimal.
But she says she focuses a lot, I guess, with her grooming, but we weren't going to do grooming because we're not groomers. So,
And this being cage-free, it's more outside than dedicated on the inside, and I think that's what a lot of people want.
Oh, they definitely do.
right, so
Definitely.
the only time basically the dogs would be inside the house was in like inclement weather, like if it was freezing cold out, or if it was downpouring rain, things like that.
How many dogs do you plan on keeping?
Well, we applied for a permit for over 10.
Yeah.
Potentially, we want 100, but I mean, ideally, since it's being small.
No, not that many, 30 would be the
Thirty
max.
would be
You
the
gonna
max.
stay and watch these dogs?
Yeah, well, I
30
guess
would be
from
the
what
max.
Mary tells us, that there's a square footage per dog.
Right,
So
Yeah.
it's a perfect fit for 30 is the max.
right,
Yeah,
If there was something that, it was gonna grow, potentially we'd have to move somewhere else. We don't plan to expand or grow and
right.
by any means, it's just be a small family operational with my daughter and my wife working.
oh, that's awesome, no wonder why you want a hundred dogs.
So how many employees?
Just the two.
It would be my daughter and myself.
Okay, so
Yeah.
2, possibly 3 though.
Right, yes, and they would be like part-time, like just helping on odd hours or something, if we needed to like go to the grocery store and get something to bring in or something, you know.
Okay, and how about the hours?
Typically, the hours are written on there, but typically it'd be like a
Like-
7 to 6 or something like
7 to
that.
6 or 7 to 5:30 maybe.
Yeah, you're looking just for like doggy daycare?
Yes, just so
No
that.
boarding or?
No, no boarding. We were just looking, you know, like a typical, like if somebody went to work for the day and they didn't wanna leave their dog at home, if they had anxiety or whatever, they could just bring them, drop them off, and we'd take care of them for the day, and then they'd come and pick them up that evening.
What, I wonder if, parking, I worry about, because I have my dogs go to doggy daycare in Fitchburg, and we all go
Preppy
in at the
Pets?
same time, Preppy Pets, we all go in at the same time, and the buses are right there.
Right.
At that time, do you have parking
Well, we
that
spoke-
will
we
be
spoke with
allotted? I mean,
Barry.
what if 25 of those 30 dogs come in at once? Where
Right,
is
right.
everyone gonna park?
Uh,
Let me see. We spoke with Barry, the realtor, Barry Brown for Caldwell Banker. I guess he's a local in town here. And he explained to us, you cannot put asphalt where it is right
Right.
now. So we decided that we're gonna put rocks down, just gravel, and make it more of a front parking lot, get rid of the grass.
But
Are still gonna have to go,
planning.
yeah, you still gotta go through planning,
Okay.
because it's a change of use.
Okay.
There, you'll find, you'll find that they love business also,
Yeah,
like we all do.
Mhm.
But there are restrictions you're gonna have to deal with,
Okay.
as far as, you know, fencing and all the stuff.
Yeah,
that
we spoke with Mary, she's went into detail on
Yeah, she's
The
the dog
egg.
officer, not
Right.
anything
the
to do
fencing,
with,
how it has to go underground
with,
and all these
the
other
boards,
things.
yeah.
Right.
She's nice and all, but
Yeah,
she doesn't
She
really
would
have a
just do
say
the
in it.
outside in the backyard with the fencing, not the
Yeah,
front.
no, she basically is the dog officer, she is not one of the hired boards, or
Okay.
the
Right.
elected boards, I should say, that,
Okay.
that make these decisions.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
so you will definitely need to go through planning.
Okay.
If we approve, you know, I guess, what are we looking at now? This is a commercial property, so they're gonna have to have a dumpster to get rid of the waste.
correct. Professional, we're gonna have a professional company come in and
Yeah.
actually remove it.
Yeah,
So there would be a dumpster there, yes.
yeah. My concern with that is the dumpster smell. It's sitting in the yard with a dumpster full of dog shit.
Yeah.
I think it would be in a plastic bag, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, okay.
You're not gonna just freeload it in there. I know.
No, we would double bag the bags, yes,
No, all
we
right,
would
yeah,
double
that's
bag
just-
them.
I'm just picturing.
Right,
the
right,
worst
no,
case scenario.
well, you know what, we would
Yeah.
double and triple bag them if there was a smell or something, but we
Yeah.
would make
Yeah.
sure that
Yeah,
it was
okay.
adequate.
So any waste, you have to double bag.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, I just wanna make sure, because you are in between two restaurants.
Yes, oh, yes, yes,
Yeah.
We're not only looking at an odor without the double bagging,
Yeah.
but we got a fly situation.
Yes.
right, mhm.
And with the restaurants on both sides, we gotta make sure that that's.
Yes, that's that's my concern with the waste, that,
Right.
now, stipulations, obviously Rick will be able to check this because he, is our agent to, you know, check the dumpsters and the waste management plans and all that he could actually go in and check to make sure they're double bagged, so to speak.
Now, as far as the kennel itself is concerned, is there any liming at all going on in there to neutralize the acidity from the urine?
It's something you can offer, you know, what I mean,
Okay.
it's not on our plan right now,
No,
but for sure, that
this
sounds like a
is
good
something
idea.
because of your abutters more so
Yeah.
than
Uh-huh.
normal. We have to make sure the flies are gonna be down to a
Yep.
very,
Right.
very, very minimum.
okay.
Excellent.
Have
So we'll
you-
be putting 3 kennels, like a small, medium, large, just to kind of give you an idea.
Well,
of
they're runs, not
controlled
yes.
area. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put pelletized line down and
Yeah.
it doesn't blow everywhere,
Yeah.
it does the job very
Absolutely.
well.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have you spoken to Eric? You have him listed on here, the building
Yeah, we did speak
inspector?
to him.
I did speak with them, yes.
Did he mention anything about parking and going to the planning board?
No, he didn't. All he had said that, you know, we needed to contact, Rick, and then that we needed to contact the clerk's office, and then he said to contact, Mary in regards to everything. But he didn't say anything about the planning board and with the parking.
well,
It's a change of use.
it's
a single
basically
family
been a
home.
residential house and you're,
Right,
the change of use being a commercial business.
Okay.
You have to go through planning
Okay.
because of this change of use.
okay.
And they have their own regulations, and believe me, our book is this big. Their
His is
book-
probably that big.
This is this big, 'cause
Right.
I did 6 years on planning, so, you
Okay.
know, you definitely have to go through them. then
What
they'll
is set that
waive
appointment
it.
with, is that something I could?
You go upstairs to the second floor
Okay.
to, what is it, land use?
Land
And see
use,
Beth.
yes.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll step up there for you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Definitely
She
get
would do
that
that.
going.
So now, would
Yeah.
that require like, what you would call a special permit to turn it over?
That is
Or-
up to them.
That's up to them, okay.
I don't believe it is, I think it's just, they vote on a change of use,
Okay,
which it is obviously in a commercial area, so I don't
Okay.
think they'll have a problem with that.
all right.
But they have their own restrictions for it as far
And
as,
they could explain
they
what's
take
about
care
parking
of, they
and
take care of all the parking, the
Okay.
parking
The
spaces,
signage,
the
signage,
signage,
your
they
sign,
do
because
the,
you're gonna want
Oh,
to
about
run
putting
a
the sign,
sign,
right.
so
Yes.
that's where you wanna
Yeah.
go for all of that.
they
Okay.
take care of all of that stuff.
Okay,
We are more of, septics and wells
right,
and cleanliness.
right,
eh,
keeping it
for-
clean and,
Just shorten it up to,
Okay.
that's our job.
Very
Okay.
nice.
You know,
Right.
and that's what, my concerns with the waste is. I don't see really a problem with any, like, the septic as far as like usage goes, you know what I mean? 'Cause
When I
it's-
heard in the letter there, that doesn't.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
live 35 miles away, so there's no
Yeah.
reason for us to
Yeah,
shower or bathe or any of the.
yeah,
other-
that's why we're not planning on living there, or, you
Yeah.
know, it's just gonna be just strictly for the dogs, like giving them
Yeah.
water, or
Right.
washing their bowls in our hands and
Yeah.
using the bathroom, that would be it.
Right.
So why have you picked town, so where do you live?
We live in Shrewsbury.
And why have you picked Townsend?
Why have we picked out here? Because we have always used the Townsend Veterinarian Hospital out here for our dogs.
Yeah.
And we love the town out here, it's beautiful, and we like the people out here, and we've been using the vet hospital now for, oh my God, I don't even know how many years. 15, 16 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, so when we saw this property, we were like, oh, that might be like the perfect place.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was one of our reasonings.
nice.
yeah. The one other thing that you
I'm
probably have
vaccinated and I
to,
don't have COVID.
you get your booster, right? Yeah, okay. Well, that's the advantage of being old. I can't get mine. Well, I think I can now.
I want you to pay double.
I'm sorry, I gotta get back to what that's.
Little humor is always good.
Okay.
Yeah, we enjoy what we do.
Do you wanna continue this meeting?
Yeah, until we talk to Rick, because Rick is
Right.
gonna do this. We're gonna do the same with you as
Yeah.
we did
Okay.
with them,
Sure,
with the young lady that was here before, so we'll put you on the agenda for 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks, okay,
Yeah.
And
sounds
I'd,
good.
I'd have a little bit more of a plan about
Yeah,
layout, what you're gonna do on the grounds,
Okay.
where the runs are gonna be,
yeah.
Okay,
how are you gonna have parking circulated?
okay,
Yeah, we got a lot of little diagrams we've been
Yeah.
drawing for
Yeah.
ourselves as well.
Dot the Ts, dot the Is.
Put
yes.
something together that everybody can
okay,
look at departmentally
Okay.
okay,
and answer all the questions. Think of it as like, you're over here and we're asking the questions,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
figure that stuff out.
Hey, this man here knows what he's talking about, because previously I was chair and he came in for doing a tattoo studio.
Oh, no kidding.
And he had more information in front of him than I could find questions to ask.
And,
Oh.
and I can promise
Very
you
nice.
that our list of regulations, his business holds the most.
Very nice.
So,
okay,
Okay, we got a motion to continue?
motion to continue, I'll second that.
okay.
And all in favor? Aye? Okay, so we'll
Appreciate
Uh,
it, everyone, thanks so
go
much.
upstairs
Yeah.
and see Beth?
Yes, we'll go right
Yeah,
now.
right now.
Yeah.
We'll go right
That's
now.
really key to start that
Yes.
process moving.
Alright,
Okay.
great, thank you
Yeah.
so very
Moving
much.
along.
We're kind of in the middle of
Yeah.
the beginning, middle of the process. so
Okay,
get
yeah,
this
cause we didn't know about going up to the planning board, so it's a good thing we came to you guys and you could
Yeah.
see us
Yeah.
like that, so.
What you gonna do?
Thank you.
What
You know, that's Fan.
I mean, yeah.
Bye.
Appreciate your time, everyone, thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Anyway, okay, guys, because I have previous engagements, and I would like to propose that we move stable permit updates and other permit reviews.
We don't have any permits there.
Okay, so that's good. Just, I would like to move those to the next meeting because I
So
actually
moved.
have done, okay, thank you, fellas. And minutes, I think we can move that. I
I do
really,
have some invoices.
we gotta, let's do invoices, because I'd like to move the other stuff, because I really need to get home to Angie.
Yeah, I have the same issue, my daughter's coming in from New Jersey.
Woo-hoo!
Okay, so, I ordered the wrong calendar for myself last year, so I sent it, if anyone wants it, the little compact thing, and I had to order black toner. It's just the Rolodex calendars, I ordered the wrong one, and then I went to give it back, and they said that they they didn't want it, so if anyone needs one, I have it, and.
Anyone else in town can use it, or?
I'm gonna send it out to the employees now, because I sent it out to you guys, and you don't seem to want it, so,
Aye.
and then it was just black toner. GW Shaw's, monthly bill, Unitil, monthly bill. Weston and Sampson, as you know, they were out, doing some, testing over the fall, so we have a bill from them.
Why does it say amount due $87?
Because
Is it-
it's crossed, the
okay.
accountant didn't, get it paid in time,
So all basically we care about it is
you've got the
what
right
we,
amount right
yeah,
there.
what we owe, not what the accountant's paying.
Yep.
Okay, so-
Yep, it's okay. And then I bought
That was
the recycling center didn't have a microwave, and when I brought my little egg sandwiches down last Saturday for our new employee,
You didn't buy it, right?
I did buy a microwave.
Well, I gave you one, I have one in my basement.
I got it for $59, so I
With
looked
a
all
guarantee.
around, and it's brand new and everything. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, I said, what, you know, and they said, well, we just wait for one to come in, and I'm like, but I got stuff here that I need to eat, and so, it was a good one, $60. I went on to the marketplace on Facebook, and I just thought that for $60, a brand new one,
I like your
That's a
way of
better
thinking,
option.
Carla.
I wish I could have saved the town $60
I know,
and
I
got
can
that thing out of
return
my
it, I can
basement.
return it, it isn't here, if
No,
you'd like,
no,
I'll
that's
return
fine.
it.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
No problem.
And that's it, and then I will tell you about the waste overflow, the contract renewal, we can talk about that a little more. It was actually up for renewal, in the spring, but because of COVID and everyone working at home, they didn't catch it, I didn't catch it.
Yep.
We will need to, sign the renewal,
Is that for
and,
Tessa?
no, we're
Oh.
not gonna talk about Tessa right now.
Okay.
And it is up in legal's hands for a review, just to make sure that the extension is kosher before you sign it. So it is up there, and with that said, legal review is on here because Rick and I are having a heck of a time getting any responses from town council. Our emergency search warrant that we asked for a 24-hour response from town council was on September 5th, and we still have no response. So I asked Ross to send a note to Adam asking why we're waiting over 2 months for an emergency search warrant, and he didn't get a response from Adam, so he said he didn't know what to do. So I don't know what to do, and Rick doesn't know what to do.
I came in Wednesday, to go up and talk with him, and he wasn't here.
So,
And I will,
Is there something going on with,
well, he doesn't work Thursdays and Fridays, we knew that. I don't know why he wasn't here on, and it wasn't lunchtime, was it?
he could have been at a meeting or something.
Yeah.
mean,
I don't
there's a ton
know,
of things to
but
do
I mean,
offsite.
I will go see him Monday and go, listen, let's sit down and get Adam on the phone right now, I need this straightened out. I mean, this was an emergency that was supposed to be taken care of in 24 hours, and we're 2 months
Well,
later.
it's just gonna look, when we go to court to get the
Right.
emergency search warrant, the judge is gonna look and say, okay, so you wanted this person out,
Yeah.
and 2 months later, you're coming to me and saying, I still
Yeah.
wanna do it? Obviously, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
And,
it looks
and
bad
it's,
for us.
and it's winter time, so the judge is really not gonna wanna be kicking anyone out in the middle of winter.
Well, we
So-
need to get in and take more pictures to present to him and go, listen, this is why, if it's a
Well,
problem.
I don't think you do, I just think that you need legal
Yeah.
counsel to
I've been in
help
that
us.
unit.
Oh, you have?
I've been in that unit.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be disgusting.
It's
And-
beyond
and-
disgusting when I was there, and I'm sure it's worse than,
Yeah, okay.
I guess the best thing to do is to handle that Monday.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can do. I will go up and I will sit with him and I will make him call Adam, and we will stay there until I get the answer I want. And I want an email sent to Jim and to Carla and to myself, saying that he is going to take care of this immediately.
Well, let's hope that that can work.
Yeah, I don't
that
think it's
is-
gonna happen for you, but good luck.
No, it will, because we do pay him a shit ton of money to do his job, and he will do his job.
Okay.
Okay, what are we looking at, Kyle? Where the hell do we leave off? Minutes,
Well, you-
waste renewal, recycling center update. We can do that, I guess. That won't take long.
But we don't really have an update other than Sean is our new employee. He was there on Saturday. Another record $1,400 we made. We've gotten rid of all the old metal, all the old kiosks. Everything looks fantastic down there. Now we just have to walk, have a site walk to see what we're gonna do about the concrete pad.
And that's with,
Stan.
Stan. Yes.
Give Dan a heads up to get a hold of me. Next week, I'm available late afternoon.
Okay,
I'm gonna need an hour notice.
next
Okay.
week, late afternoon, 1
Yeah.
hour notice. Got it.
Yeah, because there's still plenty of time to get that done now.
No, it's not. No, it's not. We're burning daylight and it's already time has gone back and it's getting colder.
And I'm worried about the construction material and how everyone is just, there is no material, and the material that you do have is 3 times what it used to be a year ago. So
Anyhow,
it might not be.
I don't see that happening this year.
Well, a concrete pad can be poured all winter long. as
This
long as
is
you
true.
want to.
I just made a comment. I don't see it happening this year.
Hey, if it doesn't, it doesn't, you know?
We tried to,
Yeah.
we tried, but I'm not gonna say.
Well, we're
that.
still gonna get it done, it's just,
Yeah.
you know, nothing, I mean, have you guys been to the recycle center recently?
I haven't paid a visit.
I was supposed to go.
Wow.
Saturday, but-
It looks so good, remember the big giant blue metal container in the woods? Gone.
No kidding.
Finally, we got that thing out of there.
Yeah, the shed, the
Yeah.
green shed gone, the
How about what's that?
kiosk. Glenn,
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, all the, those old book things are gone.
We got new book bins, new book
When
bins
you
are
said to
there.
me on the phone about this trash thing, is Tessa gonna be working into this to see what's happening?
We're gonna look into it, yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we need to discuss Tessa's new contract.
Yes, that's on the
Doing that
agenda.
now
for
or
next
later?
No, we'll do that next meeting, I think.
Okay. all right.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yeah,
and-
I've got this, that's why I'm trying to
Yeah.
stimulate.
Yes.
Get our business done and.
Yeah,
let's see
so,
it.
future agenda items, you know, septic regulations, permits and fees. Remember when we moved the, food permits up? We said we wanted $50 instead of $5. You know that hasn't gone in yet? Carla, I want that on the next thing when Rick's here. That's a lot of crap.
Okay,
Speaking of
so-
Rick,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I think you ought to send him a text and tell him to enjoy his memory-making day with his son.
Yes, I
Thank
will
you for
do,
your
I will do
services,
that.
the meeting went well,
Yes, I will do that,
okay?
yes. Yep, permits and fees update, so that, and then our next meeting is at 6 PM on the 22nd,
yes.
which I'm gonna keep this and go home and write those on my calendar, because... All right, can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone, and have a good week and 2 weeks.
Thank you.